Hi everybody, it's Jackie, and today I'm going to share my top 10 tips for the part-time reseller. I'm surrounded by my weekend sales. I had about 16 sales on Saturday and Sunday, which is definitely rare for me, and so I was sort of thinking about what led me to this and what got me there. So I came up with a semi-handy list, and I'm referring to it on my screen below, so if you see me looking down, that is it. So let's get into it. So tip number one is to work smarter, not harder. And that might mean to consider some level of automation, but only if it makes sense for you. A few months ago, I started using the sharing software Poshmark VA, and it has been a total game changer for me. It paid for itself within a couple of days in sales. Cross-listing software like Vendoo is also really helpful. I have not tried it yet. I sort of have a cross-listing method that's working for me right now, but I have a feeling I'm going that way as well. I'm just a part-time reseller. I'm a full-time high school English teacher, so this is a side gig for me, and for the first time the month of April, I've been able to take home what's getting deposited into my bank account is enough to pay for my rent. And that might not seem like a big deal, but my rent is over $2,000. So that's a big deal for me this month. So I'm going to sort of consider what tweaks I need to continue to make as things continue to shift. I post on Poshmark, Mercari, and eBay, and I think we all know by now that Poshmark is being really unpredictable, but still the majority of my sales are on Poshmark. So I'm going to talk mostly about that, but I think these tips can be used for any reseller platform that you use. Tip two, thrift stores. Prices have totally been on the rise lately at thrift stores, so if that's the only thing that's available to you and works for you, that's totally fine. I would focus on the discounts. So Goodwill has the color of the week. This week, at least by me, it's green. So when I go to Goodwill, I am going to hyper focus my thoughts and my eyes on those green tags or those green little, oh look, there's a green one right here. These little guys that are super hard to see. That's what I'm gonna focus my eye on. I'm not even looking so much at the brands and the styles. I'm looking for this first, and then I'm seeing what it's attached to. That way I'm not going to get distracted and sucked in by the things that are full price that might not work for my cost of goods. Think about what discount days your thrift store has. If it's Thursdays, see if you can make that work. Sign up for their email and member lists. Savers and Value Village does this, and they send 20 and 30% coupons all the time. Those are the days, and almost only the days, that I exclusively shop there. It makes a big difference in my cost of goods. Also, consider donating. If you have super stale inventory and you have gone through every other method, whether it's a buy, sell, trade store, ThreadUp, everything else, consider donating, because I know places like Value Village will give you a 20% coupon that day when you donate. So that's another option if you're looking to shop that day. Buy, sell, trade, and consignment stores. I make a beeline right for their sale section, and I shop there first. Then maybe I'll look at dresses and maybe shoes, but paying full price for those is often close to what I would resell them for, so I tend to not go there. Discount stores like TJ Maxx, Marshalls, Ross, Burlington Coat Factory, Nordstrom Rack, Saks Off the Fifth, those are the national chains that come to mind. Again, I go right to the clearance section first, and then I might check out some of those other sections. I predominantly sell dresses, so that is what I always make sure to focus on, but especially going to those sort of double and triple clearance, I think TJ Maxx and Marshalls and Nordstrom Rack sort of do those extra discount days. They don't happen very often, but those are the days I definitely make a point to go there. Shop Goodwill.com. I made a video on this previously. Consider buying items there with either a high average sales price or snag several lower price items from the same store, and at the bottom it'll show you where they're located. That way you can bundle those items and offset the cost of shipping. You can also go into their search and search items that only have 1 cent shipping. So those are some really easy tips, some good tips there. One of these boxes, that one, has my Alexander McQueen booties that sold that I got from Goodwill.com. I did pay up for them, but I also got $250 for them, so that was a total score. Also, online to in-person, places like Facebook Marketplace, OfferUp, and Nextdoor. While I haven't tried these too much, so I can't talk about too much, they are a great way to source. I also would say beware because there are resellers on there as well, so always check price of sold goods. The RealReal could be a great way to get your feet wet with some luxury items. Take advantage of the initial coupon they send you when you sign up for a free account, and then maybe put that towards a sale item to get that cost of goods as low as you possibly can. They also do from time to time certain percentages off on their website, and if you're a member, if you have a free membership, they will send you coupons as well. Always check the amount of available comps they have. I bought a dress from ALC about a year ago when I first signed up, and apparently the market was flooded with them, and that dress is still for sale in my closet. So not the best buy. It happens. For ThredUp, if I'm sourcing, I am focused on their sales as well as their outlet. Not everyone has access to the outlet, but once you buy enough items, I don't know what that magic number is, you will see it in the bar up top, and that's where I tend to search. But sometimes they will send you an email and say, hey, 50% off dresses or 20% off jeans. So that's where I tend to focus. Then I'll search by brands and new with tags or in great condition. And again, mostly shoes and dresses. Swap.com is another website that I like using to source. It's similar to ThredUp in that it is a bunch of people who sort of donate bags of used items, and their shipping tends to be slow. When I first ordered from them, I think I ordered back in November, so of course shipping was really slow because of the holidays and because of changes made to USPS. It is getting better. I think the first delivery took over a month to receive. I think now they're averaging about 2 to 3 weeks. So again, don't expect it to get to your door anytime soon, but it is a good and affordable way to source. I've gotten items for as low as $2, so definitely worth giving it a shot. They'll again send you emails with your free account. I think this week is like 40% off dresses, so I'm gonna have to dive into there later today, and I'll get them hopefully by June. We'll see. Again, I focus on those, and then I search by brand, condition, and style. Lastly, some other online sources. There are a ton of other buy, sell, trade, Michael's Consignments, not Buffalo Exchange, Beacon's Closet, based out of New York. They post some of their items on their website to purchase and get shipped to you. Again, always check those sales tabs first and then work your way out. Step 3 is to find what people are looking for. And I realize that that's easier said than done, but you have to do your research. Look to see what's selling on platforms that you use. Check out brands, styles, colors, and you have to look at sold comps. Okay, that's going to give you an idea of the sell-through rate and help you better understand your pricing. Don't buy blindly on brand or your personal preference. Also be size inclusive. I purposely look for stylish clothing in sizes large and above. I go to plus size section of dresses and work my way down. I also do research in plus size brands to gain more knowledge. I think it is probably harder to find those fashionable items in more realistic sizes. And when I go to thrift stores, I tend to find those 0s and 2s, and that's not a realistic size. When I mean realistic, I mean the majority of women in America are not that size, so that is why they're going to probably sit on the shelf and thus sit in your closet for longer. Step 4 is to use the closet clear out on Poshmark strategically. I only lower my prices on the weekends because that's when Poshmark gives the listing discounted shipping for free, and it notifies any of your likers. I do this on a set schedule because that's what works for me. So the first weekend of the month, I discount jeans. The second weekend, shoes and bags. The third weekend, tops and jackets because I have a lot less of those. And the fourth weekend is dresses, which is what I primarily sell. If there's a closet clear out in a different time, maybe I'll consider stale merchandise or some other things like bathing suits or active wear, things like that. But this is what helps me keep things moving. And if things aren't going out, then they're just sitting there, and then I can't go shopping again, and I can't do more good to clear out. I like clearing out inventory as much as I possibly can. And that goes into number 5, which is to keep things moving. After delisting and relisting a few times, decide how long you are comfortable with having an item sit in your closet. Those Alexander McQueen boots, I was comfortable letting sit in my closet until I got the price I wanted for them. So high-end items, I don't mind if they sit for 4 months or so. Always make sure that you're reviewing sold comps, making sure that your pricing is realistic. But bread and butter items, I'd like to have moved within 3 months or less after I consider all of my options. Step 6 is to consider your options. Everyone makes bad buys. I do it hopefully not all the time, and hopefully a lot less often now. But there are ways to move that inventory with some creativity. One thing I do is like make a preset bundle with similar stale items, maybe 3 pairs of workout leggings that are the same size that have sat there in my closet. That way I list it for one bundle price and it might have a better chance of moving. It can be done with really any item. I think I do Madewell tops as well. Madewell for me has not been moving very fast with the exception of jeans. I also look for similar branded items like I just mentioned. Talbots, Chico's, Loft bundles, those work. You could also do a complete outfit bundle, but that can be tricky because having someone that is a size small on top and small on bottom isn't as common, and you want to give people the flexibility to choose. Sometimes that works well for workout gear in my experience, but not always. You can do these I like to do them as mystery boxes. It saves time. I create a new listing and then just paste the measurements in, copy and paste them from my old listing, and that way it helps buyers ensure they're going to get a good fit. Next, number 7 is to read or watch trend reports. I watch fashion bloggers, as well as other resellers on YouTube. It helps me predict what to buy next for the next season, as well as to know what is reselling now. Research is super duper important. I watch other resellers like Mogi Beth and Jack Valentine. They help me figure out sort of what is selling right now. I take a look at Instagram and also figure out what people are buying right now. I do this while I walk on the treadmill, so I'm not, spending extra time in my day. I'm in front of a screen already, so it tends to work better for me. Number 8 is a tip that I've started using in the past month or so, and I would say it's been adding up, and that's to list throughout the day. I have times specifically throughout the day that I can put a few minutes aside to do one listing, and that's realistic for me because I'm a full-time teacher and I have side gig jobs, so sitting down to do 5 to 10 listings would be really difficult for me to do, and I might kind of feel bad about myself if I don't get them all listed. This tends to feel less daunting for me, and I do really feel it's been leading up to more sales. So I cut myself some slack. I try for 5 throughout the day. If it doesn't happen, it's just a goal, not a rule. So I will list 1 to 2 while I'm walking on the treadmill in the morning for half an hour while I'm listening and watching those trend reports. And I do 1 listing at lunch. I try to do 1 after school and maybe a couple more in the evening. That's what works for me. Kind of figure out what works for you as far as little bursts of downtime. Number 9 is to cross-list however you do it. When I list, I open up Poshmark, Mercari, and eBay. Lately, I've been creating a listing on eBay and then copying and pasting that description to Poshmark and Mercari. That's what's been working for me. I also copy the title from eBay, because that's the nice long one, really descriptive, and I paste that in to my Poshmark as the first line of my description. That way, if Poshmark decides they want to change the title algorithm again, I have a chance of doing a little bit less work. As I am dropping prices for closet clear out, that is when I'm also going in and shortening those titles. I would say about 60 to 70% of the items that sold behind me have short titles now, and it drives me insane, but apparently it works. And tip number 10 is to be realistic. It's always fun to sell a self-portrait dress for $300 or $250 designer boots, but that's not realistic to do every day or every week. I like to source about 25% luxury goods or higher end goods, 25% rare or unique pieces, and 50 to 60% bread and butter brands. That's my main focus because that's what works for me. I don't mind getting more pieces out the door because those are more pieces that are not going into a landfill. So I think that's a good use of my time. I'm just suggesting to keep in mind that bread and butter sales add up too. So I hope that is helpful. Those are 10 tips to help the part-time reseller. Let me know in the comments what works for you, because just because it works for me does not mean it's a blanket rule for everyone. And what works for me in April of 2022 may not work by July 2022. So leave me a comment. I would love to learn more from resellers. The reseller community is so great and so helpful in sharing their ideas. So I hope this video was helpful. And if you did find it helpful, share it with another reseller. Have a great day.